Hello guys, today we're gonna learn on and about moon. So let's start. So the moon is nothing but it's a ball of rocks. So like when you discuss on and about moon, what comes first things first in your mind? Like it's a ball of rocks, it is 1/4 size of the earth, it's on it's about 300,000 kilometers 300,000 blah 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 kilometers away from earth, and it's our nearest neighbor in the space. That's why it appears so big in the earth. Although the moon is the brightest object in the night sky, it does not give its own light. It reflects from the sun. Everything it comes like that, right? So we're gonna learn about moon and we're gonna choose some activities. As I told, there's no any atmosphere, no wind and clouds and rain. It doesn't give its own light, everything, blah, blah, blah. And if you don't wear the suit, you'll become a fry in the moon. It'll be so boiling hot during the day. You'll become an ice cube in the night because it's freezing cold. And did you know this is an approx? Like the extreme temperature is like daytime 130 degrees Celsius and the night time is minus 190 degrees Celsius. So you can watch the video here. How was the moon formed? Dr. Binox. The surface of the moon has many craters. So it's a circular area formed by large rocks because it's caused by meteorites. It's a rock or it's a piece of rock or metal which has fallen on the earth's surface from the outer space as a meteor. So gravity on the moon, less gravity, the earth pulls everything with the force of the gravity. That is why that is thrown up, it comes down. And the moon also pulls the things towards itself, but it's much smaller and the gravity is very less there. So 1/6 of the earth, so it is 1/6 of that earth on the of that on earth. Your weight on the moon would be around only 1/6 of the weight on the earth. Sorry, it's a typo mistake. So let's solve this. So if a person weighing for 54 kg on the earth, then how much will he weight on the moon? So you can just calculate here. As I told, it's 1/6 of the earth's gravity. So 1/6 divided by this, then you can get answer. You can comment down below. So how does the moon move? So the moon has two main movements. It's called rotation and revolution. The earth also has the same thing. So the moon moves around the earth. It is called the movement called, it's called the revolution. It is similar to the earth, which is, revoluting around the sun. It rotates on its axis every 27.3 days. Just like earth, but it will rotate, I don't know, like 24 hours. So it revolves around the earth about every 27.3 days. There'll be phrases for the moon like new moon, waxing crescent moon, give half half quartered moon, waxing gibbous moon. There are a lot of moons like that. Be a few phrases. So what is the difference between the rotation and revolution? As I told, rotation is the spin of a body on its axis. Revolution is one complete trip around the orbit. So do we always see the moon the same side? What do you think? Yeah, there is a rotation called the state which the moon's orbital period of rotation period are equal. So this is why we always see the same side of the moon here, as you can see. So what do you think? You might know this answer, like who was the first person to land on the moon? So it is of course Neil Armstrong. He also had teammates, which is they landed on 21st July 1969. Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, Buzz Aldrin. So spacecraft, sorry, so, okay, sorry. Spacecraft used for landing the moon. One person can barely even be comfortable there, but three people, I don't know. It's called Apollo 11. So let's find out who is the first person in the world to go to space, the first women in the world to go to space, the first women to go in India from India to go to space, the first man from India to go to space, and the first person from UAE to go to space. Now let's find out. So for the first one, it's not moon, to be honest, it's space. So be a bit careful with that. It's not moon, it's space. Okay, so the first person in the world to go to space is Yuri Gagarin. So he's the first person to go to space. So let's go to the next one, which is the first women to go to the space. It is Cosnath Valentina, who was the first women to go to the space. The first women from India to go to space, if you're Indian, you might know this. It's Kalpana Chawla. The first man from India to go to space is Rakesh Sharma. The first person from UAE to go to space is Haza Al Mansoor. So let's go to the next one. These are the phases of the moon which I told. The new moon, which starts from here, waxing crescent moon, first quarter moon, waxing gibbous moon, full moon. Then if again start, waning gibbous moon, last quarter half moon, and waning moon, crescent moon. You might understood right now that waxing means increasing, waning means decreasing. As you can see here, from the full moon, you go here and waxing crescent, the white is wax. So it increases, and decreases, and again it starts. So if you look at the sky, you will notice the shape of the moon changes each night. These different views are called phases of the moon. Okay, so why does the moon have phases? So you can find out here, like even though the moon rotates the same side of the moon always faces the earth, the moon does not give its own light. It is the sun reflecting off the surface of the moon that creates light. As the moon orbits around the earth, the moon orbits earth, its position in the sky changes, which produces the different phases of the moon we see each month. So these are the phases of the moon. As I told, the full moon, it's a clear one. So the full moon, waxing crescent, which I told increasing, waxing, and waning means decreasing. So waxing crescent, first quarter, which is the half of it. So waxing gibbous, now full moon. Waning gibbous, third quarter. Then waning crescent and new moon, and again it starts. So you can see here also the video of the phases of the moon. So now we'll see how many days it takes. Not approx, like completely same, exact. So the new moon phases, the day 1, which is the new moon. So the day 4, which is waxing crescent. The day 7, which is the first quarter, the day 10, which is the waxing gibbous, the 14th day, which will be full moon, the 18th day, it will be waning gibbous, the 22nd day, which will be third last quarter, last. Then the 26th day, waning crescent, and the last one, which is 28th, it'll start everything again. So actually it's approximately 23 days, 27 days I mean. So don't consider that 28th day. Whoa. Okay, so we're just gonna recap, like read on about the phases of the moon again. So the new moon, is the lunar phase, the first lunar phase, when the moon is between the sun and the earth. We cannot see the moon. The part of the moon is the shade. This is called new moon. Like there'll be this eclipses called lunar and solar eclipse. So you will know more about it later. So I will tell you about it. So the crescent moon, as the moon moves along the orbit, a small portion of the side facing us gets sunlight, and we can see that the crescent moon here, the moon is between new moon and the half moon. So half moon, when the moon is below above the earth, we can only see half of the little area of the moon. This is called half moon or quarter moon. As you see there, half moon or quarter moon. Now we got a gibbous moon. The moon is said to be the gibbous phase when it's seen from the earth with more than half, or maybe less. Yeah, more than half, sorry. So the full moon, which is when the earth is between the moon and the sun, we see the whole part of the moon which is lit up by the sun. So vaccine and waning, as I told, vaccine means the moon is growing. If the moon is getting bright from the right, it is vaccine. Means like increasing, means growing, means increasing. So waning means like it's like the moon is shrinking, means like decreasing if the moon is dark on the right side, right? It is waning. So as I told, we're gonna start learning on and about eclipses. So there are two main types of eclipse. Guess what are they? So they are, first let's talk about what is an eclipse. So an eclipse is nothing but it is occurred when one object in the space blocks an observer from seeing another object in the space. For example, most of the times to hide something, you just block, for example, a small chocolate. You put some paper or anything to block it, right? So it's something like that. So like it blocks an observer from this. So from the earth, there are two main types of eclipses. As I told, they are solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. So let's talk about solar eclipse first. So how it happens. The solar eclipse happens when the moon comes between the sun and the earth. As you can see here, penumbra is like the dark one, the dark side. Here, as you can see, my cursor, the dark side, it's called umbra, and the penumbra means like the a bit light side. So this tiny thing can block this big planets. Yeah, this is called solar eclipse. So and umbra, penumbra here they shown. The darkest part of the shadow in the middle of the tunnel is called umbra. Penumbra means the lighter part of the shadow, which is the edge of the tunnel. Is called. So here, as you can see, now let's go to the lunar eclipse. Sorry, it was here. Yeah. So lunar eclipse. Uh, Lunar eclipse is where it's completely opposite. So we see the sun. Now solar eclipse is like where sun, moon and earth, where sun, I mean the moon blocks the sun from light reaching to the earth, but here it's completely opposite. So where the earth blocks the um, light coming from the, so in this case when it happens like that, so the moon will become a red moon, I mean a blood moon. So like due to the colors, there'll be seven colors. They're all rainbow colors, which is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and indigo. So those seven are the colors which reflects from the sun. You can like maybe see like you can take any. You might have seen it. Well, you take a glass, you put it somewhere a bit far, and you just see the glass. You see some colors, or maybe magnifying glass. You can keep a glass, a big glass, and you just put it on top of, I mean underneath the sun or something. Just you see there'll be some colors showing out. I have also like was thinking, what is it? Like, so lunar eclipse is where when the earth comes in between the sun and moon, as I told, the shadow of the earth will fall on the moon. You will not able to see the moon, or can only see it very partially, which is known as the lunar eclipse. So if the shadow of the earth covers the moon completely, it is a total lunar eclipse. When it covers the moon only partially, it's called partial lunar eclipse. The total and partial lunar eclipse and total and partial solar eclipse. So here guys, as you can see, I told Penumbra and Umbra about it. So here, hey, don't think there are three moons, okay? Please don't misunderstand. It's just like just ignore these, okay? It is just this moon. It's like turning like this, okay? Don't think there are three moons, okay? I am serious. So here you just can read it. Right now I'm not able to. Okay, so now let's go. Now we are gonna go and know about artificial satellites. So we have learned right now about the moon. So the moon is nothing but it's a natural satellite for the earth. But now let's see artificial satellites. So artificial satellites is where it's man-made satellites. It is a bit small and um uh, it's where it like collects the stuff. For example, Mars. It went. So let's go here. So artificial satellite is nothing but it's manufactured object that continually orbits around the Earth or some other space body like Mars. So they gather information about the bodies they orbit. The world's first satellite was Sputnik 1, launched by the Soviet Union in 1957. It was like launched by Russians. It was the first artificial satellite, Sputnik 1. So yeah, here. Okay, so types of artificial satellites. There are research, weather, communication satellites, navigation, Earth observation satellites. So there are 5 main types of satellites. So research satellite is nothing but like measure. It's where it researches. I mean, like how is the condition or something about it. So weather is nothing but it helps scientists to study the weather pattern and the forecast of the weather. I mean the weather. So like the communication satellites provide a worldwide link up of the radio, telephone, and television. The navigation satellites are mainly intended to help determine the positions of an aircraft, ships, and submarines with great accuracy. The Earth observation satellites are used to map and monitor our planet's resources and ever change chemical life changes. So let's go to the next slide, which is let's find out a short note. So you don't need to do anything like that. Let's just find which is the first artificial satellite launched by India and UAE. Okay, so let's see. So the first artificial satellite launched by India was what? So it is most of you might know or don't know by India. So it is Aryabhatta spacecraft. It was the first Aryabhatta, the first artificial satellite launched by India. So for UAE, it's Khalifa Sat. It is the first artificial satellite launched by UAE. You can also call it as Dubai Sat 1, I mean Sat 3 or 1, whatever. And but its main name is called Khalifa Sat. So let's check on what is the first. I mean, sorry. For America, USA, it is Explorer 1. The first artificial satellite by USA is Explorer 1. Let's see for Australia. First satellite by Australia is like W RESAT. It's Weapons Research Establishment Satellite. Okay, let's check for Russia. It's Sputnik 1. So yeah, I think that's all. Let's find out more. We have okay. Let's see for Saudi Arabia, the Middle East countries. Saudi. So for it, it's Arabsat 1A, 1A, the satellite which they launched. For Brazil, it is Brazilsat A1, 2. And for Mexico, it is Morelos. And yeah, they have also given the dates, but I'm not going to read out. It's not that necessary. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you like it. See you soon. Bye. We'll see you in the next episode.